Hey, my friend. How's it going? I'm so glad to see you here. How's your day been? No matter what, things are gonna get better, I believe it. Now it's time for some storytelling. There are so many cool adventures waiting for us here. We're gonna explore nature, learn about how animals live, and most importantly, figure out how to be buddies with our animal friends. Today, we're gonna meet someone new. Maybe some of you already know this friend. Let's dive in. Hey kids, remember our buddy, the brown bear we met last time? Well, today we're gonna meet a new friend, the snowy white polar bear. Okay, now let's learn all about snow white polar bears. Polar bears are like the kings and queens of the icy Arctic. They live in super cold places, near the North Pole where there's ice and snow everywhere. Polar bears are huge and super strong. They're the biggest bears in the whole world. They can weigh as much as 1,500 pounds and stand taller than 10 feet when they stand up. That's taller than some basketball hoops. These bears have thick, white fur that helps them blend into the snow. Underneath all that fur, their skin is actually black, which helps them soak up the sun's warmth. They also have cute black noses and round little ears. Polar bears are awesome hunters, and their favorite food is seals. They use their super sensitive noses to sniff out seals hiding under the ice. Sometimes, they'll also eat fish, birds, or even berries if they can find them. Polar bears are amazing swimmers, and can paddle around in the super cold Arctic waters, like it's no big deal. They spend a lot of time looking for food, and taking naps on the ice. They are also really good at conserving energy, and can go a long time without eating. Polar bears have special adaptations that help them survive in their icy homes. Their big paws help them walk on slippery ice, and their sharp claws are perfect for catching prey. They also have a thick layer of blubber to keep them warm in the freezing cold. Mama polar bears dig snow dens, where they give birth to their cubs, which are baby polar bears. The cubs stay with their moms for about 2 years, learning how to survive in the harsh Arctic environment. Polar bears are totally awesome animals that are perfectly adapted to their icy Arctic homes. Of course, polar bears are amazing creatures that have a big impact on nature. Let me tell you how. First, polar bears are expert hunters on the ice. They rely on seals and other marine mammals for food, and their hunting helps regulate the populations of these animals, maintaining a healthy balance in the Arctic ecosystem. Second, polar bears are fantastic swimmers. They can travel long distances across icy waters in search of food and habitat. As they swim, they help to spread nutrients and energy throughout the ocean, benefiting other marine life. Third, polar bears are top predators in the Arctic food chain. By keeping populations of seals and other prey species in check, they help maintain the health and diversity of the entire ecosystem. Additionally, polar bears are important indicators of the health of the Arctic environment. Their well-being is closely linked to the condition of sea ice, which is crucial for their hunting and breeding habits. By studying polar bears, scientists can learn more about the effects of climate change on Arctic ecosystems. Last but not least, polar bears are cultural icons and symbols of the Arctic wilderness. They inspire awe and admiration in people around the world, drawing attention to the importance of protecting their icy home and the creatures that live there. So, Let's give a big roar for polar bears and all the ways they contribute to the beauty and balance of the Arctic. On a chilly winter day, a young boy named Taem sat by the window, eagerly watching the snow outside. He had heard about the beautiful scenery and adorable polar bears in the Arctic, sparking a bold idea in his mind. He wanted to go see them. However, reality reminded him that going to the Arctic to see polar bears was very difficult and dangerous, especially for a young child like him. But Taem didn't give up on his dream. He was determined to make his wish come true through his own efforts and courage. He just had to see these amazing animals with his own eyes. So, he began to plan how to persuade his dad to take him to the Arctic. Taem made a detailed plan, gathering all sorts of information about polar bears, and convinced his dad with his childlike innocence. He told his dad how cute and magical polar bears were, and how much he longed to see them. He also promised his dad that he would behave well and not cause any trouble. Seeing Taem's earnestness, his dad was moved and pleased. He knew how much his son loved polar bears. So he agreed to Taem's request and decided to take him to the Arctic to see them. On a clear winter morning, Taem eagerly put on his favorite coat, ready for a special adventure. He was going to see polar bears in the Arctic. Taem danced with excitement, finally about to realize his dream. Boarding the plane, Taem and his dad flew over the vast ocean and snow-covered ice sheets. Taem held his dad's hand tightly, eagerly staring out the plane window, as if waiting for a magical world to appear. He kept asking his dad all sorts of questions. Dad, will polar bears wave at us? Dad, how will we find them? Will polar bears play with us? His dad smiled gently and answered, "We'll try to find them. But be careful. Polar bears are cute, but also very strong." Finally arriving at the mysterious Arctic, when their feet touched the Arctic soil, Taem was extremely excited, knowing he was about to embark on an unforgettable journey. The Arctic world amazed Taem. He saw endless snowfields, ice-covered seas, and sparkling icebergs. The white snow stretched as far as the eye could see. Taem stared at the surrounding scenery, as if in a fairy tale world, feeling the magic and grandeur of nature. His heart was full of awe. He couldn't wait to see the polar bears he had only seen in books. What excited him the most was the appearance of a huge white shadow in the distance. Taem widened his eyes, carefully observing, and discovered that it was a large polar bear. Its white fur shimmered in the sunlight, looking spectacular. Taem saw the polar bears playing joyfully in the snow, and for the first time, he saw real polar bears. He watched these majestic animals with awe and curiosity, but also felt a little nervous. The polar bears strolled leisurely on the snow. That was the polar bear he had longed to see. Taem ran over excitedly, wanting to get closer to this mysterious and lovely creature. He and his dad approached the polar bears, and his dad gently told Taem to stay quiet, so as not to scare the polar bears. Taem followed his dad carefully, trying to get as close to the beautiful animals as possible. As they approached the polar bears, Taem felt a deep sense of awe and respect. Though these mighty creatures exuded a sense of majesty, their eyes were full of gentleness and wisdom. Gradually, the polar bears began to show interest in Taem and his dad. They walked over leisurely, sniffing Taem's scent, and curiously looking at them. Taem felt like he had entered a magical fairy tale world. He and his dad interacted closely with the polar bears, leaving behind precious memories. This meeting with the polar bears made Taem realize the magic and beauty of nature, and sparked his endless curiosity about the animal world. In the distance, a snow-white bear lay lazily, looking like a huge snowball. Taem's eyes widened, and he realized that this bear might be injured or feeling scared. So, Taem thought about what he should do. He took out a bag of bread from his backpack and approached the bear cautiously. He placed the bread on the ground and stepped back quietly, trying not to make any noise. The polar bear smelled the bread and slowly raised its head, curiously looking at Taem, then slowly walked toward the bread. The polar bear picked up the bread with its strong front paws. Taem noticed that its paws seemed injured. He realized that the bear might feel scared or uneasy. So, Taem decided to take some careful steps to make the bear feel safe. He observed the bear from a distance, making sure it didn't show any hostility. Then, Taem approached slowly, trying to appear friendly and harmless. He didn't shout or run suddenly, because he knew it might scare the bear. Taem stopped at a certain distance, softly speaking to the bear. "Hi, little bear. I see you're injured. I won't hurt you." His voice was gentle and warm, full of care and understanding. The bear heard Taem's voice and slowly raised its head, curiously looking at him. Taem slowly reached out his hand, as if to shake hands with the bear. His movements were slow and steady, conveying his friendly intentions. Encouraged by Taem, the bear also approached slowly, starting to interact with him. Taem gently stroked the bear's fur, making it feel comfortable and relaxed. They established a special bond, as if they had a kind of tacit understanding between them. Taem decided to give this polar bear a name. After thinking for a moment, he named it Snow, because it was like a bright spot in the snow. Through his patience and kindness, Taem successfully established a friendly relationship with the polar bear. The special bond between them made Taem feel excited and happy. The next day, Taem and his dad came to the place where the polar bear Snow was. When they arrived, Taem was delighted to see that Snow had fully recovered and was playing happily as usual. Taem eagerly walked up to Snow and began a joyful game. They rolled snowballs together, built snowmen, and even rolled around in the snow. Snow showed its agile figure, jumping and rolling, as if celebrating its recovery with Taem. Taem and Snow were filled with laughter and happiness. Taem forgot all his worries, focusing only on spending a wonderful time with Snow. He felt the warmth and love from Snow, making him feel incredibly happy and satisfied. After playing for a while, as the sun began to set and the sky darkened, Taem knew it was time to leave. He and the polar bears had a great time together, but now it was time to go home. As Taem and his dad prepared to leave the Arctic, Taem felt a mixture of reluctance and sentiment. He hugged Snow tightly, tears in his eyes. Though he knew parting was inevitable, he still felt reluctant to leave this place, where he had spent such a wonderful time with Snow. Taem slowly stood up, gently patting the bear's head. Taem looked back at the Arctic, feeling satisfied with today's experience. He knew the friendship he had established with Snow would always stay in his heart. Walking back home, Taem reflected on today's experience, feeling grateful and sentimental. He He realized how fortunate he was to see polar bears up close and establish a friendship with them. It was a rare experience. Though he felt a little sad to leave, Taem knew he would always cherish this wonderful memory. He breathed in the fresh air deeply, feeling the cold and purity of the Arctic. His heart was filled with awe for nature and love for life. On the way home, Taem decided to work even harder to protect the environment, giving more people the chance to appreciate the beauty of nature. He felt grateful and hopeful, looking forward to the future. Back home, Taem shared today's story with his family, and everyone was very happy. Taem decided to keep an eye on Snow's updates, hoping to spend more wonderful time with it next time. This is a heartwarming and joyful story, showing the power of friendship and the wonders of nature. Taem learned to cherish the close relationship with animals, and felt proud of the friendship he had with Snow. Alright, that's a wrap for our story today. Did you all enjoy meeting our new friend? The color of the polar bear is very pure white, so I think it's amazing. Have you seen any polar bear? Next time you spot a polar bear, take a good look at our furry friend. Well, it's time to say goodbye for now. Catch you next time for another story adventure.